The market is down again and XRP is suffering? This is what you need to be focusing on right now. There is not going to be a single day that this market isn't going to challenge your convictions. I think you need to take a moment and ask yourself a very important question. Have the fundamentals actually changed at all? If you answer that question with a no, then that means this technology and its purpose still remain intact. So what in the world are we worried about then? I mean, does XRP still handle transactions in seconds? What about its ability to do it for a fraction of a penny? Is it still a bridge asset that moves large volumes across borders 24/7? I really think we need to slow down and take a moment to soak up some of the reasons we really got into this space. Is this the kind of thing you had in mind? Maybe you're looking for this instead. Or maybe this is the type of view you've always dreamed about seeing every morning. Understand that your conviction will only come from understanding what you own. Know what you hold, know why you bought it, and always separate the fundamentals from the price action. Those red charts aren't a bad thing though. When the markets turn red, a lot of people will be staring at those charts and panicking. And this is exactly where people end up making some of their biggest mistakes in crypto that I've found. Well, I guess we could say that for any investment really. FOMO is definitely alive and well in these moments though. But remember, a loss only becomes real when you end up hitting that sell button. This market is always going to move up and down, and it's in these types of crashes that you see wealth transferring from weak hands to the diamond holders. Try to understand that the best investors in the world never let fear control their decisions, and understand that when everybody else is scared, opportunities are going to show up and give them a chance to create even more wealth. What does Warren Buffett always say? Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Let's hear him actually talk about this for a moment.
If you have a temperament that when others are fearful, you're going to get scared yourself. You are not going to make a lot of money in securities over time in all probability. People really, if they didn't look at quotations, but of course the whole world is urging them to look at quotations, and more than that, do something based on small changes in quotations. But if you didn't, think how much more rational, we've talked about it before, but think how much more rational investing in a farm is than the way many people buy stocks. If you buy a farm, do you get a quote next week? Do you get a quote next month? If you buy an apartment house, do you get a quote next week or month? No, you look at the apartment house or the farm and you say, I expected it to produce so many bushels of soybeans and corn, and if it does that, it meets my expectations. But they buy a stock and they think if it goes up, it's wonderful, and if it goes down, it's bad. We think just the opposite. When it goes down, we love it because we'll buy more, and if it goes up, it kills us to buy more. Ben Graham wrote about it. It's been explained. But if you can't get yourself in that mental attitude, you're going to be scared whenever everybody else is scared. And to expect somebody else to tell you when to buy and therefore get your courage back up or something. I could get this fellow's courage up substantially by saying it's a wonderful time to buy. And then a week from now, he'd run into somebody else that tells him the world is coming to an end. And he'd sell.
This is an opportunity for you to stack the deck in your favor, a chance for you to stack your pennies next to their dollars. And I get it. Bull markets are exciting because everything is going up. But real wealth is often built during the tough times, when prices are down and confidence is low. So instead of focusing on the red charts, focus on your long-term plan. Stay disciplined, stay patient, and remember why you invested in the first place. So stop listening to the noise. Why would you worry about anything when you know Ripple is out there dominating this global market? I also think that you would agree that you've never even seen this company taking a break, not even during their lawsuit. These guys were literally out there getting their hands in almost every major institution around the world, while the US was making Ripple look like they were the bad kids on the block. And is it just me? Or do you also find it interesting that even though the world saw Ripple getting sued, nonstop partnerships were still taking place with them? If that lawsuit really had any merit, or any of the SEC statements were actually true, who would be stupid enough to get into bed with Ripple? And ask yourself, if you were the person who had $1 billion to invest, don't you think that you'd be a little hesitant to get involved with Ripple if they were being sued for fraudulent activity? So how in the world did Ripple continue to show nonstop growth during that time? Something just doesn't make sense there, huh? When you actually face the facts, Ripple has literally been screaming for clear rules of the road this whole time. These guys have been absolute dominant in securing regulatory licenses and being compliant. And not just locally, people, globally. Can you guys even name another cryptocurrency making these types of moves? You have to understand that the most important things happening right now are happening behind the scenes. So instead of chasing headlines, focus on the infrastructure that's being built. It will be a great reminder to yourself that real growth is actually happening at a level this world has never seen. And if that didn't convince you, what does Brad have to say about it?
Ripple has been ready for this moment. The XRP community has been ready for this moment. I'm thrilled you are on this journey with us. It is definitely happening. It is definitely happening. It is definitely happening. Thank you very much.
In, people. I'm your host, Steele, the guy that keeps you grounded. Have a wonderful week while you're out there navigating the machine.